And welcome back. Joining us, our final conversation of the day, representatives from Niche to talk to us about a film workshop that recently took place and a film that came out of that workshop. Here joining us on the couch is, of course, Mr. Lucien Dawson, who is the admin assistant at Niche and a visiting professor a former professor of Howard University, Dr. Steve T. Berry. Professor Berry joining us on our couch. Good morning, gentlemen. Welcome to Open Your Eyes.
Good morning. Good morning. Great to be back.
Definitely, definitely. So let's talk about the film workshop. Where did the idea come from to have one in the first place, Lucien?
Well, actually under ICA we have the Film and Media Arts unit, and we're responsible for three things, which is local workshops and other film industry development, planning of the Belize International Film Festival, and we're responsible for the Belize Film Commission as well. The workshop is done in conjunction with the Belize International Film Festival, because one of the things that we wanted to ensure is that film is alive in Belize. It's a growing industry, and it's silently growing. You would be amazed of some of the things that are being shot, but one of the things that we're positioning ourselves in the unit is to attract the bigger budget projects to come into our country and shoot. One, like, you know, in years gone past, like Mosquito Coast and Dogs of War. Those are hallmark projects. We want more of those projects to come to Belize. So then the commission is responsible, and the commissioner is responsible for making partnerships on the international stage, so that, you know, those types of projects come in country. Now we partnered with Professor Berry here. He has years and wealth of experience. You may know his work, No Matter What. About 9-10 years ago, actually acted in that in that piece of work. But to see him in action is everything. And we said we're going to partner with him to offer this 5-day basic audiovisual workshop.
And tell us a little bit about your work, Professor Berry, back at the university, and, you know, just your general interest in the area of film.
Okay. Well, I have my MFA Motion Picture Television Production from UCLA, and there was a time, of course, I wanted to go to Hollywood, you know, win Academy Awards and all that good stuff, but that was a train I didn't get on, or haven't been on yet. Anyway, but as far as my relationship and my work in Belize, I'd say that's probably, you know, more definitely, you know, probably one of the highlights, you know, of my career. I said, No Matter What, you know, was very, very popular. I was one of the co-creators and directors of that. We did 4 seasons. In fact, like Lucien said, you know, when I first went to Niche, you know, to talk about this workshop, you know, and Suzette Zaid, you know, she introduced me, and I shook his hand, and there was something familiar about him, but, you know, I didn't think about it. And a little lady brought it. I said, wait a minute. Junie, you know, so he played this character called Junie on No Matter What, and I think it was season 3, I think. Season 3. But anyway, he's gotten a bit older, you know. And so what actually, you know, brought me, you know, back this go around is 13 Productions, Denver Fairweather, who of course produced No Matter What. We actually are working on a sitcom, you know, right now, which I understand they'll be here next week to talk about, which will be great. But I had never heard, being a filmmaker, you know, being interested in film, I had never heard of a Belizean film or Belizean filmmaker. Now this is back in the late 90s, early, you know, 2000s. I've been coming back for since 2004. So my initial interest in Belize, you know, was to, you know, kind of, you know, help to make the splash. Come down here, do a workshop, you know, train some people and have them do work. So when I first came in 2004, I think I just missed the first International Film Festival. I met Suzette Zaiden, we talked, and we decided to for me to come back for the second annual film festival and do a workshop. So I came back, brought some students, we did the workshop. Denver took the workshop. That's why I made the connection, you know, with him. And, you know, we've just been going ever since.
That's amazing. So Lucien, tell us about the dynamics of the workshop. It's what it encompasses. What are some of the things the students are going to be engaged in? Sorry.
Yeah, it already happened. They were able to learn about story, how to develop a story, what proper techniques to apply in developing characters, the proper formatting for writing scripts for television, what does each paper, it was very interesting to note that each leaf of paper or each page of a script denotes 1 minute for air time. So things like, it's things like that we need to know, the formatting, you know. Professor Berry always said, you could have the best script, but if you don't have the proper format and you submit that to Hollywood or to Atlanta or New York, these are rising filmmaking places. They won't look at your script. They will just
amateur. I'm amateur.
Right.
I know what I'm doing.
Right. And learning the different terminology about what is panning, what is tilting, you know, things like that. So it was very basic but intense at the same time. I think they all walked away not only with a certificate but with a handout about 20 pages long with just basic stuff and basic, not just the writing techniques, but as well how to develop stories properly and how to tell a story effectively. Lighting, they went over what is modeling, how to get different lighting effects, how you can use one light, 3 lights, a 3-point lighting system. All of that they went over. Yes, I was paying attention. Right?
Is it a situation where a majority of us as Belizeans in respective industries are self-taught, but we may not be familiar with the actual language or the standard processes that go along with what we're aiming to accomplish?
Yes, that is one of the things. And one of the things with the Belize Film Commission is when a film company comes in, they have to hire locals on their project. That is one of the requirements for them to shoot in Belize. And the Film Commission is positioned so that we're not a sticker, a rubber stamp, you know. My director, Ms. Zaiden, is always on me. Lucien, we're not a rubber stamp company. We need to ensure that when they come into film, that they're respecting our natural heritage, these heritage sites. So we work closely with the heritage sites as well. And so for Belizeans to get hired on these projects that are, it's legitimate companies that are coming in that you're seeing on your television screens. And so you need to know the lingo, you need to know how to use the radio, you need to know the codes, and they don't have time to train you for that. You need to know that on hand. It's a very rewarding but difficult field, and so you need to become up to speed. So now at the Film and Media Arts unit, we ensure that we provide these types of workshops so that you guys can understand simple terminology. What is tilting? You know, if like one of the examples are like, I want the camera to tilt left. That is not in film. You know, tilting the camera is going up and down. You see, and so understanding those.
Pan left or right.
Right, pan left or right. Yes, exactly. So you have to know these terminology. So when you're on set, you're not, what is he saying?
You put it in Creole.
Right.
Move the camera, leave it so.
No, that wouldn't.
And it's important because it adds to the development of industry. I mean, not everybody needs to be a teacher or a taxi driver or an attorney. We can have access to different forms of work that we could, you know, not everybody is left-brained, I think. Some people are right-brained, but some people are creative, and you definitely want to encourage and explore that. Tell us a little bit about the students who participated in the workshop.
Okay,
you know,
well,
background
we catered mostly towards the seniors in high school and tertiary students for a couple reasons. They have their brain is already more developed, and so they know that they want to do this thing. Yes, we had some younger ones there, but and as well, interestingly enough, we had a professional there that actually does this for their living. So they came to the workshop for that, and so we offered it at a very reasonable fee, I would say. They stole what it's really a steal of what the professor brought to the workshop.
We gave them their money's worth. That way.
Right.
Tried anyway.
But basically it was students who were in the senior years of high school and tertiary level.
Okay, awesome.
And they were all fairly engaged too. They were all there. They all showed up. They were engaged. They wanted to learn. They did what they needed to do. And,
Even through the rain.
It was
the rain.
It was a great experience.
I think part of the issue, and it's my personal observation here, is the fact that our academic curricula is so narrow in a sense that it doesn't allow for people to be formally trained locally in any form of media arts. So you find that a lot of us rely heavily on people coming from outside that would provide these short courses for us to be able to pick up on certain aspects of, in some cases, what we already know, and like I said, we don't know the formal terminology or the standard procedures of how to go about doing it. We learn on our own, and then we apply what we believe we're seeing on the screen. You look at a documentary, for instance, and you know that there's certain lighting that is required, the type of narration and all the elements that come along with it, and you look at that as your guide, and you say, well, that's what I want my end product to look like. Right. But in terms of how to get there, you don't go about it necessarily in the formal way that one would learn in a set curriculum.
A process. It's a process. And also another thing I told the workshop, and I also told my students as well. Basically, a phenomenon in today's world is YouTube.
Yeah.
There is nothing that you should be interested in or want to know about that you don't know about
YouTube.
because someone has done a how-to video on YouTube about it.
Definitely.
Especially in production.
I learned how to put on this face from YouTube.
And you did an excellent job. That must have been a one heck of a video.
Thank you so much. So I know that a film came out of the workshop. Tell us a little bit about the film.
All right, well, it's called A Ghost of Andrea.
Okay.
And it actually came from one of the exercises we do. I do a character exercise. I have all of the participants write a character. Give me the name, profession, and a little bit of the background. We put them all, I think we had 13 participants, we had 13 characters, we wrote them all up on the board, and then we voted on which ones were the most interesting for 3 of them. So one was Carlos. Carlos was a tour guide that somehow he ran into a jaguar, and I can't remember if he got superpowers or what, but it has something to do with Carlos, a tour guide, and jaguar, so he was one. Tina Ray was a 70-year-old cougar who liked young men, hated children, but wanted to be a grandmother. And then the third was Amy, who was molested by a brother and did some unscrupulous things with the child, basically took it out on the child. Yeah. And so after we took those 3 characters and we actually put them into a relationship. Okay, this happened, this character is related to this, and then someone said, well, since we got this child, another character was Andrea, who was a teenage ghost. So somebody asked, well, why don't we include her? And so we actually included Andrea, who was the teenage ghost. That night, 4 of the students went back, and they came back the next day with various, some had a couple screens, like the opening coming into the government house for the tour. One had kind of written up that scene. Someone else had written up the veranda scene. And then a couple others actually had some dialogue, a couple pieces of dialogue. So I took those production elements and kind of put them together, and I actually wrote the script. And we shot it. We produced and shot it in one afternoon from about 1 o'clock Wednesday, finished up about 5. And so far, people seem to be fairly happy with it. Of course, we cast out of the workshop. And found out we had some great talent. One of them was Melanie Price, who was actually my assistant. And since a lot of the participants were camera shy, she stepped in and saved the day, so to speak.
All right, so that being said, we're going to go to that short. We're all excited to have a look at it.
So just before we cut to it, I just want to find out, what was the creative process like with the students? How did you find the interaction?
Well, either I did my job very well and explained everything, because whenever I said, are there any questions, are there any discussions, they just sat there and looked at me. But that said, I pretty much, just from doing it, like I said, this is the end product. We took it from a concept. We took the concept, we took it to the script, we produced it, we took it to the screen. So at least they've all gone through that process. They know the process.
Definitely. Okay.
So
We'll
we
set
have
it up
our
now.
video on cue now.
It's on cue.
So yes, we're gonna go to that quickly, and we're excited to see that final product.
Enjoy the ghost of Andrea.
Good morning, everyone. My name is Carlos, and I'll be taking you on a journey through time as we explore the government house, the House of Culture of Belize, one of our most political and historical landmarks. If you'll excuse me one moment, I'll be right back, but please enjoy the scenery and I sea breeze we have here.
Amy, the Carlos have a very lovely accent. You should support it?
Good for him.
Why are you so rude?
Look at him. He looks just like Remy.
I noticed that right out, but I decided not to say.
So how is he?
Like you care?
I don't, Tina Ray. That's why I'm asking. I'm just being polite.
Your brother is still in the hard time. The prison is not a good place for anyone. No matter how long they've been there, 20 to life, my boy wouldn't do anything like that. And you are no help for the witness stand.
Oh, yeah, right. This place feels strange. Something about here. It's like that day I saw that jaguar. That day that little girl died. And the day that Remy
It's a long time ago. Leave it in the past.
Ladies, would you like to take a memorable photo before we head inside?
Sure.
Just come this way. Alright guys, let's go inside now. Alright, this way guys. Now for most of its history, only the general public was not allowed inside. Only the political elite were allowed inside for social events and political gatherings. And if you look out here, we have our stage, which is used for a lot of cultural events. For example, the Panyard, a very beautiful festivity. I wish you all could see before you leave. And on September 21st, 1981, the Union Jack was lowered and the Belize flag was raised for the first time, ushering the era of independence for Belize.
Amy, come here.
Yes, Mom.
Oh, nothing now. Well, it's good to be back in Belize after 20 years, but it is not the same without your father. Think of it. We had a first kiss right around there by the seaside.
Sounds romantic.
Why such a big bitch? Aren't you be glad I came back?
For 18 years, you've been dead to me.
How you can say to me, you are my child.
Stepchild.
How dare you? I lied to you.
You raised Remy too, Tina Ray. But look what happened to him.
And they're so lovely.
Hideous.
Why, stop it. Why are you so evil today? They are all beautiful. I always wanted to be a grandmother. When you gonna settle down and
And what, Ma? Have a baby?
Yes, because you're not getting any younger.
Been there.
What?
Done that.
What? What does it mean?
It means exactly what it sounds like.
What?
I had a baby, a daughter, 18 years ago.
What?
6 months after Remy's trial.
Oh, why didn't you tell me? Where is she? When can I see her?
Her name was Andrea. She's dead.
Dead? What happened to her?
I killed her.
Your stepdaughter, Amy, was my mom. Your son, Rennie, was my pop. Ma didn't want him, but he forced her. He forced both of them that day, the day of the Jaguar. Ma was so mean to me. I thought she hated me, but she had been raped, and she took it out on me. On my 12th birthday, I decided to die. I jumped in the sea right here, where you and Grandpa shared your first kiss. Mom won't forgive herself, but I just want her to know that I'll forgive her. And I hope you do too.
What an interesting movie. That was amazing. I love the dynamics of all the characters and the storyline. I feel like I was watching a novela.
Yeah, well, what I find phenomenal, about the exercise in general. I say you take these characters out of different people's minds, who don't know each other. You put them together. You give them interactions and you give them history. And then you put them in a story, put them on screen, and they're together forever.
Definitely.
Yeah. So like I told him, whether or not their characters were selected or not, we could have taken any of those characters and actually did the same thing, come out with a different story, different timelines, and actually made it work.
That was quite.
It's surprising what creativity can do. I mean, when you look at the fact that this came out of a 5-day course. The concept, the execution,
Definitely.
the post-production, and everything that comes along with it.
It's
interesting.
So what's next for the Film and Media Unit?
Well, we're gearing now towards our International Film Festival.
Okay.
So I'm encouraging all Belizeans to now look on the International Film Festival, follow our Facebook page, our website. We're in the selection process of the films, and it will be celebrated under the theme Tropical and Topical. So we're going to discuss all those issues that affect us in the Caribbean in particular, be it the environment,
Politics?
sexual abuse, politics. So those are the type of films that we're looking at. As well, we're going through a selection process for the music videos as well. So we at the Film and Media Arts Unit as well are looking forward as well to positioning ourselves to encourage those bigger projects to come in. And so we're launching our selection mid-July, around the 22nd of July. So look forward to our selection process for the International Film Festival. As well, we have other trainings that are coming up. We don't have dates in specificity, but we encourage you to just follow our International Film Festival or the Belize Film Commission page, and you will sure to be getting updates on the mark. Sign up for our mailing list. We have a very active mailing list as well. So sign up for our mailing list and you can be a part of that. One of the things is that we want to ensure that Belizeans are engaged in this new industry or this developing industry, and there is much potential for employment there, and it is a wide door open for Belizeans. So tourism might be one as well, film, and just the hallmark. While working on permits, not permits, but registration certificates for just this quarter, we have recognized that, because they have to say how much they're going to spend and what's not. And so estimated value is around 300,000 US dollars that came into our country. And that is just from 12 companies. So that's an average of 25,000 US. So that is what is being added to our economy. So it's as well a trade field as well. It's a form of trade. So we want all Belizeans to be looking out for this industry as well.
And we definitely want young people to be encouraged to participate in the workshop. So just remind us once again the social media pages and the emails where they could sign up for the mailing list.
Okay, so you can go to the BelizeFilmFestival.com website. You can sign up for our mailing list there, or you can go to BelizeFilmCommission.com, or if you don't know, just go to nichebelize.org. There is a link there. You just click that link and then it takes you directly to that to sign up for a mailing list. On social media, you can just search for Belize International Film Festival or Belize Film Commission, and you will be able to be connected to us. It pops up quickly. And as well, if you want more additional information, you can email us at fmau@nichebelize.org.
All right. Okay, so thank you, Lucien, Professor Barry, for being here. This has been quite informative. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
All right, we are going to take a really quick break, and when we come back, it's to have our wrap-up.